Welcome, everybody. Thanks for watching. This is part 2 of our very first look at a first round for 2021 fantasy drafts. Today, we're going to look at the players I have and count them down 6 through 1. If you haven't watched the first part of this special countdown series, we went through 12 through 7. You might want to do that because we are going to get to the end of the list and our number 1 player by the end of this video. Hey there, I'm Chris, once again. I appreciate you watching very much. I hope you enjoy this topic. It's a little silly because we're not going to be drafting for 8 months or something like that, but what the heck, right? It's a fun exercise to see where we check in on the players as of where we are right now. Where I am right now is December, so if you're watching this in like February or April or something, well, you have a lot more information than I have about free agency and the draft and injuries and all that stuff, so I apologize, but this is the best I can do with what I have right now. Please also realize that we're doing standard scoring for this countdown, so just realize that there's a little bit of a shift when we come to PPR. Anyway, we're going to count them down. We're going to go 6 through 1. Number 6 for me. Oh, I did it. It's Derrick Henry. Maybe you're outraged that I'm this low on Henry, but if you're not familiar with my work, this represents progress. It's a real breakthrough. My call on Henry not being a first-round pick this past summer turned out very wrong. As we're talking this moment, he's the RB2 in standard, the RB4 in PPR. He's had a very good year with massive blow-up games. Really, even his quote-unquote bad games have been okay. We would love for some other running backs' bad games to be 15 carries for 60 yards. I might tell you that nobody has more runs for loss in the NFL than Henry this year, with 48 carries that haven't gotten back to the line of scrimmage. I might tell you nobody has more runs that have gained 2 yards or fewer than Derrick Henry, with an incredible 111 of his 271 carries. That's 41%. And I might tell you that most running backs wouldn't get a chance to play very much with those sorts of numbers. But the fact is, when Henry gets loose, he's an absolute menace. He's not a creator on his own. He needs everything around him to be pretty good. But in Tennessee, the whole thing is built around him. He's averaging 23 carries a game. And when he finally gets up to speed, I will fully admit, it's crazy that a guy who's 247 pounds can go as fast as he goes. It takes him a while to get there, but look at that. You've got guys 50 pounds lighter who are in the league because they're fast and they can't catch him. That's one part of Henry's freakishness for sure. And the other part of his freakishness really shouldn't be overlooked. This little montage is the kind of punishment that Henry dishes out in the fourth quarter. When he's on carry 18 and 19 and 20, the defense doesn't like it. And this is a skill. There simply are not very many running backs in league history who could do this every single week like Derrick Henry does. You get a strong majority of your fantasy points out of Henry in the second half. Now, one more cautionary note about workload. You may be watching this after the season's over, so you have way more information than we do right now. But through 12 games, Henry was on pace for 361 carries, which would be second most of the past decade behind only DeMarco Murray. And you can see how the other 4 guys followed up here with their massive workload seasons. All but Adrian Peterson got hurt. Now, Henry is a different kind of specimen, and I'm ranking him number 6. Though that would be lower if we were talking PPR. But so much of his value is based on volume. I'm just saying. He's been great. Okay, I admit it, he's been great. You can tell I'm reluctant because guys who get by on volume and let's say non-traditional RB skills and a lot of negative plays, they don't usually do great. But I'm biting the bullet for now. Number 6. And number 5, I feel a lot more comfortable with this dude. It feels like, to me, Devonta Adams is locked in as the wide receiver 1 for 2021. And we saw in our last video that Michael Thomas was locked in this year, and he got hurt. So, nothing's guaranteed. But Adams feels to me like he's on his own plateau to the point where, okay, if you want to tell me some of those mid-first-round running backs have warts and they scare you a little bit, even in standard scoring, I can't get mad at Adams as a top 5 overall option. Like Michael Thomas, Adams is ridiculous in close quarters. This play is one we've shown you on the channel before, nearly a touchdown against the Texans. But if we go back and watch him at the snap, how does a receiver like Adams make a defensive back jump like that? It's just this little subtle step at the beginning. It's footwork and it's body control and then just pure explosiveness off the dead stop. And Adams does score on this one. Oh, lovely throw. He's wide open. You might ask yourself, big deal. I mean, great, nice play. You're wide open. Why are you showing me this? And I just want to go back to the beginning and see his release again and why the defensive back starts out completely faked out, reaching and going the wrong way. It is that NBA level quickness. One step and go. It is rare, and it is the secret to Davante Adams. Now, the special sauce in Adams' crazy 2020, at least to this point, has been the short touchdowns. We spent last summer wondering whether Aaron Jones could possibly get so many short scores again, and of course the answer was no, because that's usually how it goes. And in fact, it feels like most of them gone to Adams, and these two might go away to some degree, but I am sold. Wide receiver 1 in all formats, and number 5 overall, even in standard right now. Okay, we'll get back to the countdown in one moment, but I want to thank our sponsor, because without sponsors, this does not happen. If you've been thinking about getting a new sofa, you're not that excited right now about going to an in-person furniture store, oh, I've got a good solution for you. I have a Burrow sofa. I think you'll love it. The brilliance of Burrow is that finally someone has made luxury furniture that you can buy direct, skip the retail middleman, save a bunch of money, and still have it be incredibly nice and really affordable and super easy to put together. You choose the color, the fabric, the size, the shape of your new sofa. They ship direct to you. It takes 10 minutes to put together, and you won't need any tools. Burrow has tons of options. They also have coffee tables and bookshelves, other furniture. You can also disassemble and reassemble your sofa when you move. Burrow is growing like crazy because it's a genius idea. Do me a favor. If you're thinking about a new sofa, don't get one until you check out burrow.com/HarrisTube. Every order gets free fast shipping. Plus, if you use that URL, you'll get $75 off. Truly great stuff. Go shop Burrow. All right, let's get back to it. We have 4 guys to go. It's very exciting. Have you guessed which 4 guys it is? Do you know the order? All right, well, number 4, I'm counting them down backwards here. Number 4, I'm going to do Christian McCaffrey, the oft injured this year Carolina Panther running back. Maybe you feel like that one's low. I know how incredible McCaffrey can be play to play. He's the quickest running back in the NFL. He has close to the best acceleration. And maybe his long speed isn't quite Saquon Barkley, but it's certainly not bad. He's a wizard as a pass receiver in an offense that wants to use him as a receiver a ton. Clearly, even though CMC wasn't my number 1 overall player for this year, he was by far the market's number 1 overall, and his talent is beyond reproach. But as of our making this video, he's played in 3 games in 2020. He suffered a high ankle sprain in week 2, scoring a touchdown, missed more than a month, and then he came back and got a huge workload against the Chiefs, but suffered a separated shoulder at the very end of that game. And really, what can I tell you? That's the concern. The small guy who put on a ton of muscle when he came into the league, who's got a small frame, who's subjected to incredible pounding. The alarms that, I've been sounding them about his workload for a year. They feel like they're going to filter a little more into our assessment of McCaffrey for next season. Now, again, if you're watching this after the 2020 season is over, you know more of the story than we do as we're making this right now. But from my vantage point at this moment, it feels like the chicken's coming home to roost. It feels like the best case for McCaffrey would actually be some workload sanity to try and treat him as the by far most important part of a committee, with Mike Davis or with someone else taking on some of that workload. McCaffrey's obviously talented enough to be the number 1 overall if he makes it through healthy, but I think we have to balance the risk. For instance, the Panthers could use McCaffrey the way the Saints use Alvin Kamara, my number 3 player for 2021. While McCaffrey's out there getting 400 touches in the season, Kamara cruises along, sub 300. And let's not pretend Kamara's never gotten hurt. He had a high ankle sprain last year that cost him a couple of games. But while he is a different talent from McCaffrey, he's not less talented. And having the likes of a Latavius Murray save him from 10 extra touches a week, it can occasionally be frustrating in the moment, but overall feels smart. And when it comes to Kamara, first off, pretty obviously, if we're talking about who the elite receiving backs are, no doubt Kamara takes a backseat to nobody. He's not out there running screens like Leonard Fournette, right? He is running legit pass patterns and making crazy great bobbling plays down the field like that one. just the sheer whoosh, the sheer acceleration. Watch number 20 for the Raiders here break down and think, I got him. I know where this dude's going. I got him. Does he even lay a finger on Alvin Kamara? Same thing on this little screen, and then the run after. Just nobody moves like a damn puma or something than Alvin Kamara. He just has this way of taking one stride and gobbling up half the field, and still, while he's doing it, being able to make moves. A lot of running backs can cut back. Look at how dang fast Alvin Kamara cuts back here. It's like he's changing direction in a big way, but actually getting faster in the run at the same time. There are questions in New Orleans. Will Drew Brees be back? Can he still be effective? As I said in our last video with Michael Thomas, if you told me Taysom Hill is the starting quarterback, might I have to reconsider these Saints skill weapons? I might. We will see. For now, though, he's number 3. Heaven knows we've shown you enough film on Nick Chubb on the channel this year. You can't be that surprised I have him at number 2. Listen, I know the biggest argument against Chubb at the top of your draft is going to be the fact that Kareem Hunt will return to Cleveland. It's true. Of course, I'd rather the number 2 running back on a guy's team be Latavius Murray and not Kareem Hunt. But I'm sort of done. I'm going to not worry about Chubb. He's crushing the league. I've shown you this play before. I can't get enough. This is a 230-pound human who can move like that. It's just crazy. It's ludicrous. And then he accelerates to make the next potential tackler miss as well. And this one, too, this is the platonic ideal of a Nick Chubb run, showing everything, just vision, cutting, power, long speed. It's a pure power back doing all this. I don't long speed-wise put him in the Saquon Barkley super freak category. He doesn't accelerate or have long speed quite like that, but he's really good. This just happens on film over and over. I hope as football watchers, when we see a play like this, we can see the difference between like, oh, that guy had a lane and he just ran right into it, right? As opposed to this kind of run where he's stringing together moves and acceleration and strength. It's all over Nick Chubb's film. I think as long as he's healthy, it's not going away, and he doesn't need everything to be perfect to perform. This ability to make a defensive end or a linebacker overrun the play because he can change direction in the backfield. I mean, does McCaffrey change direction better? Of course, yes. Nick Chubb weighs 230 pounds. How's this move on a pitch out left? Look, for a power back, man, and followed by the long run. And this was the end of the game, and the Browns had just clinched it, so he goes out of bounds. That kind of hurt one of my fantasy teams pretty bad, but I'm not letting Kareem Hunt's presence scare me. Nick Chubb is too good. And at number 1, I know he's not been the most durable guy in his career. There have been times when he's had to be helped off the field, even this year, but Dalvin Cook, if Barkley isn't the league's preeminent home run hitter, Dalvin Cook is. Nobody makes more defensive backs take bad angles than Dalvin Cook. And it's really pretty incredible for a dude who doesn't really dance. You don't get a lot of broken ankles in short area space with Cook. He just turns on the jets and the poor dumb DBs can't get to him. Okay, on this one he dances a little, but they aren't great moves. He's really just sort of being patient, right? Watch number 31 try and come up and make a tackle. Again, doesn't even touch him. Here, Cook just outruns Harold Landry, a 4'6" linebacker, who just has no chance at all to even get near him. Not even Malcolm Butler popping in from out of bounds can stop Dalvin Cook from his appointed rounds. Does Dalvin Cook get stuffed sometimes too? Of course. Does he give you elite receiving numbers? Probably not. But what he's shown in 2020 is that when he's healthy, he can house it from any place on the field. As of our recording this, he's on pace for more than 2,000 scrimmage yards. He's absolutely great. And not exactly safe, because his first 2 years in the league were very much marred by injury, tore his own ACL. But right now, I definitely think it's debatable. It's not a no-brainer. At this point, in December of 2020, I'm on Dalvin Cook at number 1. So there you have it. That's my first round for 2021, and there are only about 8 months left for me to completely change my mind on a lot of it. But this is where I came down on my first pass through. The nature of 2020, and also the number of injuries we've seen among the elite players, really does make it feel like 2021 could be kind of a wild card year where we don't have a lot of consensus, even in the top part of our first round of our fantasy drafts. So that will do it. So now your job, in addition to subscribing to the channel, really it would help us a lot if you'd subscribe to the channel. But your job right now really is to go down into the comments and tell me all the things I got wrong, because it really is a controversial, going to be a weird year. 2021 for ranking, I don't think there's going to be tons of consensus. Maybe things will get clearer depending on where players land in free agency or how injuries wind up working out. But I'd love to hear your opinion. Let us know down in the comments. It's great if you support the sponsors as well. If you've been thinking about a couch or really any furniture, Burrow is such a smart solution. The furniture is so nice. You can't see it. It's right off screen. It's extremely nice furniture. It comes at a great price because you're putting it together yourself, but it's so easy. I can do it. 10 minutes, no tools. Seriously, if I can do it, trust me, you can do it. We really appreciate all your support this year. We're going to take a lot of heat for this, I'm quite sure, but that's all right. It's fun. It's fantasy. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Thanks so much for watching. Please smash that like button. Write a comment. Tell us who else you'd like to see us review film on. And of course, best of all, please subscribe to our channel and then click that little bell above the subscribe button, and you'll be notified whenever we post a new video.